Hey guys, and welcome back to this installment of the Trip Trap Talk Show. On today's episode, we talk with artist Kassim, and we talk about some of his inspirations, how his mom didn't let him listen to rap until she heard Kanye West and mistakenly thought he was a Bible-inspired artist, which led him to start thinking about becoming a rapper. We talk about his logo and how it stems from 90s culture and aesthetic. We talk about his views on cancel culture and its impact on society, some of his lessons learned in 2018 and how he's going to change in 2019. We also talk about how to clean up the garbage on your social media, and we all really need to sometimes. What he's doing to better himself and how he almost killed himself one time, but we're really going to get into that. We talk about how become a rapper almost got him kicked out of his own house and how it felt to drop his first song, and much, much more, especially his love for anime. But stay tuned and enjoy the show.
See, I'm unfazed. I told you.
Good. I'm glad you're unfazed for our podcast.
Okay. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Trip Trap Talk Show. This time we have special guest Kassim.
What's good, y'all?
Yeah, he's a local rapper, songwriter, designer, probably some other stuff too. So Kassim, how'd you start in music?
So what's good, y'all? My name's Kassim. Like he said, I'm a rapper, songwriter, creative director. The way I started off at the age of 14. It was just pretty much audacity. I heard great music. I was listening to like Graduation, listening to So Far Gone, listening to just like different rap albums, Carter 3, and I was just like, you know what? I listen to this shit every day, and these songs help me out so much. I want to do this shit too. And it was a dumb statement at the moment because like I had no like experience, and like I have like no big like music like family legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to prove the 14-year-old me right. So literally, I'm 24 years old. Been 10 years later, and I'm just trying to prove that guy right.
No, because I was reading your website and I saw your little mission statement, I guess.
Thank you, yo.
Yeah, I saw your first real foray into rap was the College Dropout.
Yeah.
Like, so
Shout out that.
I heard like before that you were strictly only allowed to listen to like gospel.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm Nigerian American.
Shout out.
Yeah, and my parents are like full blown Nigerian. And so when I was growing up, they really wanted to like keep like culture rooted in us, which at the time I didn't appreciate. But now like looking back and just like understanding identity and understanding like where I'm from and like the legacy that I uphold just by existing, I'm really grateful for these moments. But growing up, I couldn't listen to what she called secular music, which was just anything on the radio. Mm-hmm. So if you listen to my music, there's like definitely like a gospel background. So that's where it comes from. So College Dropout, she thought Jesus Walks was a gospel song. So when she played it, he's like singing about God and rapping about God. So she let it play. And he was just speaking really fast. And I was like, what is this? And he was like mashing the drums. I was like, wait, you could talk at a pace that it was crazy.
It was mind blown. You're like,
it was mind blown, yo. And then my cousin gave me the album. He gave me Stank on Ya. And then he gave me Murphy's Law. Shout out Murphy Lee. And like that was my introduction to hip hop. And ever since then, I've been on this course.
Wow. I gotta ask this too, since you're like, fellow Nigerian American. Do you speak Igbo? Was that like deep rooted?
I wish, man. I
feel
wish.
Same way.
Pretty much, I'm Yoruba. So pretty much, I was like going through the course and she was with it. And then I got bullied. At like kindergarten, and they called me African booty scratcher.
I know that.
That shit hurt me so hard.
Manuel said the exact same.
Yeah, that shit hurt me so hard because I look just like every black person in the class, but they like pointed me out, and it was like my last name and my first name, and like my hair texture and like just the way my mom dressed me up was like very not hip, you know what I mean? Like black culture is like hip culture.
You got me feeling like PTSD flashbacks.
Yo, that shit fucked me up. So I told my mom, I was like, no, like it was bad. And I wish I didn't do that. Like I really wish that I learned. I still want to learn the culture eventually, like Rosetta Stone style. But like,
no,
it's
Rosetta
not the
Stone,
same.
Duolingo. You got your avenues. Yeah,
I'm gonna get it. Honestly, thank you. I'm gonna make that like part of my 2019 milestone. I'm gonna learn more Yoruba.
Nice.
Have
Have you been to Nigeria before?
Not yet, yo.
Yo, you gotta go.
I got to.
I went when I was 16. It's very humbling, but you realize like that is your culture.
Yeah,
like, you know.
yeah. No, that's a plan. I made a promise to myself that I don't want to go unless I pay for my flight with rap money.
Nice.
So it's like, if it's forcing me, because like right now, like especially with like entrepreneurship, it's like there's a lot of luxuries in life that like I'm like neglecting because, and like different experiences, like traveling whenever I want and like buying whatever clothes and shoes I want and getting a newer car and moving to a better house and stuff like that. I'm sacrificing all of that right now to just give the brand Kassim as much, like, you know, just so it gets to a point where it's an abundance and now I don't even have to work for the money. The money's working for me and I could just travel because I want to travel instead of me saving up to travel. Well, I should be putting out a mixtape, you know what I mean?
So you have like a lot of vibrant colors
Thank you,
and
man.
a lot of, I mean, what you wear and
Thank you.
your album art and all that.
Thank you.
Is that in any way like connected to your Nigerian roots?
Yes. And another reason why I love colors. So I growing up in DC and in PG County, all of my public schools that I went to, they were all like uniform based. So pretty much I had to look like everyone else. And towards high school, it was fucking with my like mental health, and it honestly does fuck with my like
Really?
anxiety. Yeah, cause like you watch Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah.
Remember that episode? I love cartoons, but remember the episode when like Timmy wished everybody looked the same and the whole screen turned
exactly what you're talking
gray?
about.
That's me when it comes to like dressing like other people. Like I like my outfits to just say hi, my name's Kassim without me saying hi, my name's Kassim. So if we're wearing the exact same shit, it just drives me crazy. So I just go to the thrift store and I just think of like the most obnoxious things. So like my style is really influenced by like vintage stuff like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Saved by the Bell, different like Nike ads from like the 90s and 80s, different like just pop culture stuff.
Bro, you're like literally like talking the exact same that like one of my best friends does.
That's
He does
tight.
the exact same. He's
Yeah.
gonna be on here in a couple
That's
weeks.
tight.
Malachi.
That's tight.
That man's always going to thrift
Speaking
shops.
of your, I guess your
Finding
aesthetic
crazy shit.
design, also, like, can you explain your logo? I was like very intrigued. Is it like
Thank you, yo.
are the they look like S's a little bit with a little attachment at the top?
Yeah.
And we can put it on the screen. later.
Yeah, we'll
appreciate that.
add that on.
I appreciate that. But like, so shout out to Terrence. He's one of my business partners, also known as D17, and pretty much he helps with a lot of my graphics. Him and another one of my friends, shout out Jimmy. His name is Forever, and pretty much the aesthetic is African tribal stuff because I'm Nigerian. The color palette is from like vintage Nike colors, so like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like just think of stuff like that. The yellow zigzag over the eye is because before I decided to go with the name Kassim, I used to go by the name KO, and when I was doing that, honestly, I didn't believe in myself until realistically a couple months ago, because like
Really? Only a couple months?
I feel that you got to be doing it for a while.
because it's like rapping, like the way rap is set up is like you're supposed to give up. You're like if you think logically, you should give up, because what happens is like you're not making a living wage off of what you're doing for a very long time until you have that one song that everyone's like, who is this person? But before that, there's trial and error. There was different business relationships that fell off. There was like depression, and I used to go through alcoholism, and I was in school full time. I wanted to be a rapper, so there was like an identity crisis. It's just so much that comes into like making it, you know what I mean? Because it's like some people, they just see the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have.
That's
they just have that dream, and then and then they see where they're at, and like that just looks so far away.
why? And
Yeah.
not to get meta or anything. It's because of that instant gratification culture that we have.
Exactly.
Like, everyone expects everything to be like there immediately. They don't see like there's a road or a journey to everything that they see on TV, on movies. They just see, that's a movie star, that's a rapper, that's like making it big. I can do that. That's super easy.
Yeah.
And then, not to cut you off.
No. But you're making perfect sense. So that's why. So like that was the KO version. That was like the 14-year-old me who was like, yo, I want to rap too. Like, you're 14. You just think exactly what you just said. It's just like, if Drake is rapping, if this person is rapping and that person is rapping, I'm gonna rap too. Everybody's rapping. But life happened, and when life happened, I had to grow. And as I was growing, my relationship with myself was growing. So that's why like the eye has like the little yellow zigzag bolt, because it's like a crown. Think like a Basquiat crown, and it's like over the eye because I'm the most important person in the process that makes Kassim. So it reminds me to like take care of myself.
What? So Kassim also. How'd you derive that name? Because
Parents. I was born with the name.
Oh,
shout out my folks, yo.
No, that's the best way to do it.
Folks are lit. They gave
that's
me
the best way to do it.
Yeah. I was searching for different rap names. I tried to be cool, and one of my friends, shout out Hassani. I'm so proud of Hassani. And Hassani told me, yo, like, why don't you just use your name? Your name is unique. Your name is powerful. And I was running away from the name. And then eventually I just tried it and I just loved how it looked. And I was like, yeah. And what it does is it forces me to have integrity. Because I can't hide behind like anything.
A moniker or a label.
Yeah, it's like.
Do people ever call you Kassim?
Yeah. So growing up, I used to get called Kassim. I hated that shit. But that, like I said, that went along with the African booty scratcher thing. I was just really passive with my name because I associated my name with like difficulty, and like you have to know how to say it instead of like learning how to say a name. Like people made it feel like my whole name was too hard to say. So I was like, all right, whatever you could call me, call me. And I'm glad I don't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
It's a part of that anxiety.
Yeah, yo. They used to call me Kassim. I used to be like, okay. I used to get called Cassie. What the fuck?
That's maybe like a pet name. Like
yeah,
yo.
Like it's like, no, my name's Kassim. Yo, respect it. So
yeah. No, I feel you on that. I tell people just call me Okechi just because that's easier. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've noticed you have this like earring that you're wearing in like everything. Like, is there any significance to it?
Yes. So shout out to mrjoni. Mrjoni is a female sculptor from Baltimore, and her and I were like extremely close. And the way that we got really close is like, it was the Freddie Gray riots, the Baltimore uprising, and I was in school, and I skipped my classes, so I failed that semester. And I failed that semester. I skipped the final. No, I had midterms, and I skipped the midterms to go clean up Baltimore because I went to Towson, which was 15 minutes away. Yeah. And I just felt guilty because I'm a black man with privilege, you know what I mean? In college, and just like thinking I'm gonna better my community. And I was surrounded by people who just were disconnected, and the whole world was focused on Baltimore, and it was literally 15 minutes away. So like my mental health was just like shattering because I couldn't like fake smile like people that look like me aren't going through shit. And there was like a whole curfew. It was crazy because like Towson was like a normal thing. Like there was no curfew, there was no heavy police, there was no like news reporters, like, but then 15 minutes away, just right down the street, I mean, there was like tanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There were tanks for that?
Yeah, it was definitely a weird time for me too. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm from Baltimore.
Word.
So yeah, when I heard that, I was down in UMD.
Word.
It was a weird time because my parents were going through it.
Yeah,
like,
it was. They were treated like, it was scary. So pretty much, mrjoni, she went to an art school called Micah. Yeah, and I went to Towson, and we met protesting, and we just I built a whole bond with the people that I protested with. Like I still follow them on Instagram. I used like us chanting for a song, Langston Hughes, just so I can embody like that moment in like music history, because that moment shaped my my awareness of who I am. So I wear this every day because I know I trust her, you know what I mean? And it's like we got each other's back. So it's just me like repping her brand. And I love it because I have the only one that looks like this. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's Afrocentric. So it just ties into the whole Kassim aesthetic anyway.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What'd you like learn from yourself from that experience?
I learned that I shouldn't get disconnected. Because a lot of like my peers, I was the only one in my class that skipped my class. But I wasn't the only one who felt the way. And I was the only one who failed. And I'm not like bragging about failing, but luckily I had like a rap, you know, career that I was really focused on anyway, and they didn't. So it taught me to understand that like there's different levels of revolution. Like not everybody has to quit and boycott and fail. You know what I mean? Some people, they could be revolutionary by being the best person in their class, by doing this, by doing this, by doing that.
Playing to their skills.
Exactly. So it taught me to play to my skill. So what I ended up doing, changed my life, was they asked, is there anybody who has a message for the people? And my friend raised my hand because I didn't, like I said, I didn't believe in myself at the time. So then they got me on like this moving vehicle, and people were marching to like the sound of like my songs, and they were crying, and there were people like hugging me. It was just really powerful. And I just really like, I love that city forever because of that moment. And I love my people forever because of that moment.
Do you foresee like taking part in more like activism like in the future?
To a level, yes, because I feel like with celebrity culture, there's a level of narcissism.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to experience that. Well, it's impossible. Like everybody has self-interest, but it's just like, I don't like the equation that black celebrities equals black spokesperson. Like, I don't want to be the spokesperson for every black person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love my people and I love like who we are, but it's not a monolithic experience. And I just got to understand that like my experience as a black man isn't the same that a black woman would experience, or like a black transgendered person would experience. So I don't want to be like a token that is like used to manipulate like the black vote. So if it's something that like I genuinely care for, then I'll stand behind it, but I'm not trying to jump into it.
Yeah, true.
True words spoken. Because that's a common trope that you'll see.
It's scary.
Like just the one black person in Hollywood, or the one black person in the music industry in LA or whatever. Like they'll be brought in for whatever cause, and it doesn't really. I mean, they may like feel it. They may like feel the cause, but you still get that sense of like, this is. Yeah, token.
Of course. And like I said, if you feel it, then go for it. There's certain things that I can't wait to stand behind. There's certain things I stand behind now as just a person, like not even like a celebrity, just as a person. I gotta tell people to vote. I gotta tell people to do this. That doesn't mean like I want a check for anything, but like if you want me to like literally put my face next to you and like take pictures with you and stuff like that, like I gotta know what you stand for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. That's just how I feel, especially with like 2016 election. That shit made me cry.
It messed up everybody.
It made me cry because it made me realize that like life isn't a joke. Because like literally people were voting Harambe. It was just so much that was going on that day, and I was just like, focus. But like if there's something like that, then I'll definitely like want to get people involved. But yeah, it's a lot. Politics is scary.
Yeah, man. Well, it's just like sick right now, dude. Like this country is
it's toxic,
it's scary.
divisive. Like
it's scary.
We were talking about this before we started the podcast. Like you got to stop watching the news or whatever source that you follow because it gets too overwhelming.
And bro, so many people I feel are just like missing a lot of perspective. Like they hear one thing about someone else and then that person's bad.
Yeah.
Or they hear like, and it'll just change on you. Like I fall victim to it too. Like, you know, like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Mm-hmm. Like I love his stuff. He's great. And then like I heard some people accused him of like sexual harassment or something.
Damn.
And like.
And then you start like.
And then I started like just thinking. I was
cancel
just, like,
culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bro.
It's intense because it's like one of the things about cancel culture that I'm like still trying to understand is how like,
you're saying cancel culture.
Okay, so cancel culture is like the concept that you're talking about. It's like you were so great to me until you did this one thing, and now I can't look at you the same. And it's like there's levels to me, and it makes sense to a certain degree, but I don't have the dignity. Not the dignity. I don't have the discipline to do it. Like there's certain people like. I don't want to speak on these people because now it's like I'm pointing them out. But there's certain people that like everyday products, everyday songs, everyday shows, everyday like different things that make us who we are. Mm-hmm. They're intertwined in it some way, somehow. And it's like, it's hard for me to like rip those memories out of my head. And it's like, I don't support the action.
Yeah.
But it's just like, fuck, I don't know what to do, and then I just try to move on. It just sucks. It's
like,
a lot.
Like with Kanye, man, he's doing all sorts of
Kanye, like,
Yeah.
I'll say, like, I don't fuck with Kanye, like,
It's
just
hard.
because
I love his music though. It's so good.
Yo, he's my favorite rapper ever. So it
he's
throws
a
me
good
off.
rapper, but like,
It throws me off.
I don't know,
But
like,
he
it was
used to
just
say
statements.
great stuff too, man. He was like sticking up for like homosexuals and stuff back in the day.
Well, here's the thing about like, I think he just like knows how to play to market. Like he knows how to like to. That's why I don't like him. I don't know. I don't know what is genuine from him.
I feel you.
And I hate those type of people.
I
So
feel
that's
you.
why I don't really like Kanye. I mean, he makes good music.
Hell yeah.
But like he just doesn't. He's not genuine.
Hell yeah. I didn't like the thing about it. Like I said earlier, like Jesus Walks was my introduction to hip hop.
Yeah.
So like my connection to Kanye West is like extreme. Not in like I know him personally, but it's like.
But you feel like you know him.
I feel like he's technically been there for like my life. You know what I mean? Like, cause Jesus Walks, I was 9, so it's just like, and I'm not even 9. I was probably like 7. Either way, I was young, and I'm 24 now. So it's just like it's hard for me to just like imagine not fucking with him at all.
That's like that feeling you have, like being connected to him. That's what fucked me up about Mac Miller, bro. Like I felt like I grew up with that kid.
Exactly.
Yo,
Like,
yeah.
I heard his like one of his like old fratty songs when I was
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know 12 or 13, and like I went to Hot Topic on the day that Blue Slide Park came out, and I got the CD with my best friend. And got this like Mac Miller poster that came with it. I'm just
Fucking Mac Miller, yeah. He's incredible, yo.
bro. I cried when he died.
I cried too. I had a show that night. It sucked. It sucked. I was really emotional. So like the craziest thing about Mac Miller for me is like I relate so much. It's like he's one of those rappers that I really respected for just who he was as a person. And so he made me want to be a better person. Like there's people who make me respect them for what you got.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got the coolest chains. Oh, you always got the most beautiful women. Oh, you always got this. You always got that. And like I'm emulating like just the external things, but like even after he was gone, everybody just said great things about him. So like it hits me hard. And like the weirdest thing was like I was really into swimming like right before he was gone.
Yeah.
And I tweeted him. Of course, I didn't expect him to respond.
Yeah.
But it's just like, see, he has millions of people tweeting him every day. But I tweeted him. I literally said, can't wait for you to go on tour. This album's been getting me through it. And then the next day, they announced he was dead.
Bro.
I cried. Yo, I was like, what the fuck, yo?
Yeah, I was going to see him too. I was like,
it sucks. Yo, and JID was on the bill.
Yeah.
Thundercat.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the night I need. Rest in peace, yo.
the crazy thing too is like, everyone had something good to say about him, and even people you didn't think like fucked with him. Like Travis Scott apparently like was like sitting in his studio like watching how he worked and stuff.
Wow.
And, like that's insane. You'd never think Travis Scott and Mac Miller.
Yeah,
Freaking
man.
John Mayer too.
Yeah, man. Like I haven't been the same since Mac died. I've honestly been listening to Mac Miller every day.
I've been listening to him a lot more now too.
Spotify literally told me that the number 1 song I played this year was "Come Back to Earth." Like I'm heavily affected by his death.
Did you hear that Anderson .Paak track they made
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Mac?
Oh.
And then you had Q-Tip on
Yeah,
there too.
Q-Tip. Rest in peace, Fife. Like,
Yeah.
one of the things that 2018 has been teaching me is that like I'm mortal, and like as a teenager, I didn't really understand that concept.
You thought you were gonna live forever because
Yeah.
we're young. We all think we're gonna live forever. Then like
And you're
you
so
you
full
start
of
getting
life.
older and you're tired all the time.
Yeah.
It starts hitting you like I'm not gonna be here for like too much longer because your life is finite. That's why you need to use it. Use your life as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Because if you're just wasting it, then it's a waste. You're wasting your life.
Absolutely. I will honestly say, and once again, rest in peace, Mac, rest in peace, X, rest in peace, so many people that we lost this year. But I can honestly say 2018 taught me to get aggressive with time management, because when I was a teenager, I used to put I think one of the most people think it's really helpful, but I think it's kind of destructive if it's presented in the wrong presentation. But the idea of a 5-year plan is not really helpful for people like me who grow up and you don't really have the resources. So what ended up happening was, since I didn't have the resources, I was really passive about things. Like I was like, in 5 years I'll do this, and in 3 years I'll do that. And it's just like that idea makes sense if everybody was supposed to live to 100. Like if you're gonna live to 100, take 10 years and live under a rock. Do it. Don't worry, you got 90 more years to go. But that doesn't really happen for everyone. So 2018 was just like, no, like this could end. Yeah. And if this ends, are you happy? And I used to like work 2 jobs, and I was making a lot more money than I do right now, but I wasn't happy. And I wasn't in the studio, and I wasn't doing shows because I always had to go to work or had to sleep to get to work. Yeah. And 2018 like was just like, look, because I was thinking to myself like, yo, I'm gonna make this money stack up for 2 years, and then boom, I'm gonna be in LA, and I'm gonna be a rapper, and boom, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And it's just like, no, like you could wake up tomorrow, get into an accident, and everything's over. Were you a rapper?
So is this? And this sounds a lot like what you're talking about in your song "Dream More, Sleep Less."
Yes.
So I mean, you want to talk a little bit about that song?
So that song, 2017. I wrote it 2016, 2017-ish. I was an alcoholic back then, and I was like about to enter therapy. And my cousin, one of the main reasons why I got one of the things that helped me get off of alcoholism, because it was something that was like stronger than me, was I lost my cousin to a drunk driver. Like my cousin was sober, just driving home out of his business. Oh my goodness. But he got hit by somebody who was drunk. And I used to drink and drive, so it fucked me up. Man. It fucked me up. So that's the person I'm talking about in the beginning of Dream More, Sleep Less. And then the day of, another traumatic thing happened. Like one of my cousins lost his parents at like a house fire. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and so that's what like that whole monologue in the beginning of the song. Yeah. That's what that's about. And then that's what the monologue at the end of the song is about. And then in between the song, me rapping and singing, I wrote that, and a huge part of that was I had like this one close friend in high school. Like we were talking about things gonna last forever. And I thought like it was gonna last forever. I thought this friendship was like, yo, like you're gonna be my first. You're gonna be like my best man. You're gonna be like this person. You're gonna mean this to me. You're gonna mean that to me.
Yeah, grow together.
And we grew apart. Like he was my business. He was my business manager at the time, and we were both 17, so it was all fun and games. But like business and friends, it's like
it doesn't mix well.
Yo, it does
not mix well.
It doesn't. And then like the dynamic is to the point we don't talk to this day, and it sucks. Wow. It sucks. And like, but yeah, so that was the person I was talking about that we grew apart. Yeah. And then another friend at the same time was he was just really toxic in a relationship. And I grew up with divorced parents, and like my dad was also toxic. So I just couldn't like experience the trauma of that and like blindly support you because of loyalty to friendship. So him and I fell apart. So that song is just me rebuilding all of that and like just telling myself like, don't worry, this shit's gonna make sense. And then I dropped it on a day I completed my therapy session the week before graduation, and I dropped that song on my graduation day. So that's why I love that song. I'm gonna probably perform that song forever, like in my 40s and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very powerful song.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's good that you're like cutting like things that are toxic as well, and you're able to identify that, because that's a key factor in your success. Yeah. Like if you're not able to identify toxic behaviors, patterns, people, you're gonna be brought down.
Like, and it's like the thing about like life is like no one tells you that the right way. They tell you it in a cliche way. Yeah. Watch your friends. And that shit is so cliche. Or believe in yourself. What the fuck? Yeah. You're gonna tell me
watch the people you surround yourself with. Right?
Ooh, yeah. All of those things are gems. All of those things will make you the greatest version of you. Mm-hmm. But the way it's presented is by your mom and she's screaming at you, or by a teacher who's flunking you, and all these different people, they're literally telling you the same exact thing.
And I mean, it sucks that we get that information and we just like disregard it because we're like, you know, headstrong. Growing up, we're like, we think we know life, but we always forget that those same people who were telling us all these things, they were literally that age.
Like they went through that same
like have any of y'all like actually like sat down and talked with your parents now that you're actually like
Yeah.
adult
And you can see them as people now.
like you see them as people, and when you talk to them, you're realizing we're all still figuring things out.
Yes.
Like I was talking to my mom the other day, and she even told me like yeah, I'm still figuring it out. Like
That's
her,
humbling.
like her like marriage, like life, kids, still figuring it out. I'm the first child in my family.
That's
and
humbling.
she even told me that I was like the test drive.
Wow.
Because I have three younger brothers.
That's what's up, yeah.
And that's all every older kid is too. Every oldest sibling is a test drive for a first parent.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you realize that everyone is a person and everyone was in the same position that you were.
Yeah.
If in some way, shape, or form.
Most definitely.
It's just that our perspective changes as we grow older.
Most definitely.
But cliches get like slept on.
Yeah.
A lot.
They're gold, yo. They're so
What are some other
gold.
cliches that like we should actually start?
Man,
Be yourself.
Yeah,
be
oh my
yourself.
God.
That shit changed my life.
Like,
At
me too, man.
At 24, that shit
most
changed my life.
simple thing. Be yourself.
Wow.
Like,
profound. But it's
yeah, no, go ahead. Like,
but I was told that probably at like 6, and I was like, "Shut up!
Yeah,
I'm
what
getting
the
bullied.
hell,
You don't know my life."
Yeah.
And it's just like
because as people, we want to belong,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
like immediately you start like being singled out, like scapegoated, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Scary, bro.
I need to like fit in,
Yes.
and that's when you start trying to like shed your identity.
yes,
And then you have to spend time. Like you were talking about this earlier. You had to like find your identity.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had to strip that away when you were younger.
Dude,
Most
and,
definitely.
and people are a lot more likable when they're themselves.
Yeah.
Like
Genius.
there's this like one kid that my brother, he still hangs out with him all the time, but like he used to just be the most boring person ever with like no personality. Like I was like, why you hang out with this kid? And like, I mean, he was nice or whatever. My brother was basically just using him for free weed though.
Everybody's saying that.
I have a point to that that I will
And
bring
I
up
was,
right after.
I was just like, I don't know. I looked really down on it. But then like that kid went to college and he came back and he was like a totally different person.
College helps you find. Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say college helps you find yourself, but it's one of the places that you
Life.
can like really discover who you are.
Well,
yeah.
it's testing as well. You know,
Oh, yeah,
testing what
true.
works, what
Well,
you actually like.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you get to start over usually.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, once you actually, because it's first test drive, and then when you enter the real world, it's
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
but like, no, I fuck with that kid now. He's cool. And I
That's
was
tight.
like, why was he just being quiet all the time or just like not doing anything?
He's afraid to be himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo. And it's like I relate. Like if you like shout out to anybody who known the 12-year-old Kassim. They didn't know Kassim for real.
Yeah.
Like you know like the version I want to present in middle school. And same thing for high school with me. And it's like, and that's okay. Like and even if that was me, I changed. Like I remember growing up Nigerian, one of the things I always like think about when I think about like my growth as a human being, I remember until college, realistically, I was homophobic. And it was just like African household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
super religious.
It is prevalent. Yeah.
Yeah, like hip hop with like no homo being a thing as a kid, and that was just like an everyday phrase.
Pause
Oh
and
yeah, I
stuff.
do.
Pause,
I
like
do remember that.
yeah. And then like the wild questions, like would you rather have a slutty daughter or a gay son? Like there's all these things that society just shoved down my throat, and I was honestly like a product of it. Like I was it's a shame, but that's who I was back then. And like just growing out of that alone, the people who like know me from back then, it's just like I'm not even comfortable with certain conversations around me because like I have to stand up now and I have to be like, wait, actually, like I spend more times like defending as an adult than I did like making fun of people as a kid. So I'm grateful for that, but I gotta acknowledge my growth because it's just like certain people, they just expect everybody to be like aware, you know what I mean? And it's just like certain upbringings, they just bring like different, like, you know what I mean?
It's good that you're defending stuff. I mean, I know like it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because like I definitely have like overheard like fucked up shit and
Yeah.
just kind of sat back and just didn't want to.
Yeah.
But like not until like, have you ever had someone like do that to you though? Like you start to think about that shit afterwards.
It's crazy.
Like before that, you just whatever. But then like you can actually like change your ways.
It's crazy.
And whatnot.
It's like, and I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, I just feel like we're just programmed because like sometimes, not saying that you're wrong for being a bystander, but certain people are wrong for being a bystander. But it's like sometimes you probably just having a fucked up day and you just want to get by and you're not trying to be a superhero. And I get it.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a level of empathy on every side, but I just love to acknowledge the fact that like people can grow up and like, I don't know, like I had to delete so many tweets from high school me. Like I deleted like this year I spent so much time deleting my tweets. Like I was saying wild shit as a 14-year-old.
Yeah. People will like if
I was
if you
a
blow
wild
up
guy.
Like Lil Yachty. I think he said like fuck J. Cole or something.
Yo,
Like
it's
14.
embarrassing, yo. It's
You see that
embarrassing.
shit with Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Like that's why, you know what, I don't as a producer I should fuck with like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I really only fuck with like Instagram because it's the least toxic to me. Yeah, and it also depends on your filters. So for me, I have strong filters. Like for my Twitter is like, that's like my mental space. Mm-hmm. So like I'm not following you because I know you. I'm not following you because you followed me. I'm not following you because you're famous. I'm not following you because everyone's talking. You follow because you want to follow. I follow you because I want to know what you have to say. And it's just like that level of like barrier of entry. Same thing with Instagram. Is I'm not going to follow you because you're rich and you live in a nice house. I'm not going to follow you because you look beautiful. So I'm going to follow you because I want to see like life. I want to see your life happen. Yeah. So it's like that shit, it's been saving my mental space. Because I used to feel like following people was like a norm. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, we just met 5 minutes ago. Hey, what's your Instagram? Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like that social contract, but yeah, you gotta have a filter. It's a filter, yo. Yeah. It's a filter. Because like the minute that you just like let garbage, and not saying like literal garbage, but like shit that doesn't feed you. No, you can call it garbage. Yeah, like, shit that doesn't feed you exists on the internet. And if it's not feeding you, it's eating you. You know what I mean? So it's like I used to go on certain websites every day and watch like fights and just watch a bunch of shit that like I thought was cool. World Star. A bunch of shit that I thought was cool. And it was just like, yo, like after a while, like I just literally became violent. And I was like, whoa, like, and not like I was fighting people, but I was having violent thoughts. Like, oh, I should just punch this guy and just yell such and such. And it's like, no, like, no, like, what are you doing? Like, you're just like on the bus, you're just like, what if I just punch this guy? What if I just kicked his ass right now? What if I just streak and just tell somebody to record it and put it so I can be on this Instagram page and everybody's doing like crazy shit to get noticed. You know what I mean? that scares me so much now because it's only getting worse. Oh yeah, because you can see everything so fast and everyone's one-upping each other. It works. It works, but it's like genius. Really well. It's genius. Just seeing the length. Yeah, it's intense. People go. Like, it's intense.
My favorite example of this is that guy who stuck his head in a microwave and then cemented it in there, and then like almost died. He had to have like the fire department. What? Like,
what the? Like, my stomach just dropped.
Like, what? He had like an air tube or whatever, and as the concrete was like curing, it like started expanding and like squeezing
and crushing his head
and closing the air tube, bro.
Oh my god!
I can't believe he didn't die.
That's actually like that's one of the best videos I've ever watched. Though.
He must be a change man after that. Yeah, he has to be because that is
people are doing wild stuff. Like there's people who are like literally like slapping their grandma for retweets, and that sounds crazy because we just said it, but it's happening. It's
probably there.
It's just like,
hey grandma.
It's just like there's some wild like minute clips, and I'm just like, yo, this is your real life. Like I laughed, but this is your. Yeah, damn, something
what happens after, bro?
Yeah. Yo, there's this one clip, right? And like somebody tweeted it like a week or two ago, and that shit spoke to my soul. It was like, I just hope they're okay. That was like the tweet, and it was like, did you ever see that video? It happened like a year ago, and it's like two black guys, they're canoeing, and the guy's like, yo, Robert, this shit go down. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, this shit goes down. And like, he's just laughing at him. He's recording him. But what's like about to happen is like, there's like a waterfall. He's like, yo, this shit goes down, yo. They jump off the joint and the video ends. And I'm just like, that's terrifying.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, bro.
What?
But that shit got like 100 million retweets. I'm like, that's not fair, yo.
Yo. Like, I mean, so one example of a person who's like, literally made it their whole career.
Yeah.
That I can think of immediately is, you guys heard of Boot Gang?
Yeah, Boot Gang.
It's just tragic.
Boot Gang, yeah.
It's just tragic.
That he was literally like the personification of it.
It's so aggressive.
Yeah,
it was like months.
He's stealing shit, man.
And that's what scares me. Like he was literally just like, but I think he came out saying that those were all staged. I'm not sure.
Nah, so a part of it was, so like there was a point where it was just him robbing people and yelling out and just like
Boom,
fucking
gang,
up
whole lot of gang.
Yeah, it is so catchy. It's so
sorry, yeah,
it's catchy.
Gang, whole lot of gang.
It's so catchy. But like what ends up happening is just like that just becomes your character. That just becomes who you're known for, and you gotta keep it up. Because you're not hot anymore. And there's like endorphins, and this person is talking about you, and you're invited to this place, and you just get really like sucked into it. And then you just have to keep it up. And like, it's like, now I'm gonna get a face tat. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do this. Now I'm gonna take this drug. And it's just like,
you gotta one up yourself.
It just keeps
it's intense,
compounding. Yeah.
It's intense.
Dude, that fucked him up though.
Yeah,
like, I think he went to rehab for like alcoholism or something.
It's
I know you guys watch No Jumper podcast, but like he was on there and he was just like super fucked up, like super drunk. He couldn't stand up straight.
I saw that clip.
Oh my goodness.
It's intense, yo. It's intense.
It's that one up culture, man. It's a scary thing, but that's what we're heading into. Like,
and honestly, I don't think that's what we're heading into. I just think society is just society. That's where we've always been. And it's just like social media is just highlighting a different like fashion. But it's like our parents were most definitely going through the same thing with their celebrities, and like it's just like,
I guess it just
now it's just like all in our face,
readily available.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah. Oh well, what can you do? Actually, what can you do? Like, what can we do? That's a question. What can we do?
Be more genuine.
Yeah. But I think, keep going.
Just not like care as much about like the fame of shit, and I don't know, just stick to yourself and fuck what other people are saying. Like honestly, if you build this like shitty, build a good persona.
Yeah.
Don't build a shitty persona. Like sure, it might get you fame in the short term, but like. And you know, karma's fucking real, bro.
You know that's gotta have some psychological
effect on you. You lose yourself after
you don't know who is who.
Another cliche that I really like is what you reap is what you sow.
Ooh.
Like, so if you're going out there and like this fucking guy just like stealing shit all the time, like that's gonna come back.
Karma is real.
Karma is a bitch, yo.
Karma's real. I think personally, what I've been working on is I just been working on being a better version of me. And it's like that's just literally all the power I got right now. And I gotta understand, because it's like I can't change the world if I don't change myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta start.
But one of the things that I always like, one of the songs that's been like really helping me this year has been like False Prophets by J. Cole, because it's like growing up as a fan who eventually becomes a rapper, it's like a journey that I had to take within myself. And I used to put like people on pedestals.
Yeah.
And I used to like equate their accomplishments with like godly like things, like, yo, like you're so sacred and you're so this, and just lifting them up as high as I could, and to the point that I couldn't reach them. And once I couldn't reach them, I disconnected myself with their profession, and I didn't see myself as a rapper, and it fucked me up. So I just been working on, like, I got this song called I'm a Shine. And it's like, yo, treat my rap heroes as my peers. Been doing this shit for years, a decade to be exact. I had to let myself know. It's like, yo, you're not famous yet, but you've been rapping for 10 years. So it's like, there's nothing that's out there. Not saying I know everything, but there's nothing out there that should be super astronomical to the point where I gotta submit who I actually am for a gatekeeper to like put me in a position. Because what ends up happening is just like you start to think to yourself that like you need people to get to where you gotta go, and it's just like you honestly need yourself. And then everybody else, like the destiny helpers, the people who are like put in your path to help you get to the next level the right way, they're gonna come. But like, don't sell yourself out, don't sell yourself period for clout, for fame. Like, take your time. We all got different paths.
What's left is you.
Or else you're just gonna be a clout chaser.
Boom.
So like, what are some things that you do to like better yourself?
We were talking about it earlier. Meditation is clutch. Interviews, yo. this is like a tip for anybody watching this. So if you got something that you love and something that you want to do, watch the interview of somebody who's doing it now, who's like at the top of their game. Watch it like before they did it. So one of the interviews that did it for me was watching like 2005 Pharrell Williams interviews, because Pharrell Williams is incredible.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
At 2018, like he's done so much. Like he's an iconic figure. But 2005, he was new and he was telling us he was going to do it. And he just me having like, it's like a time machine. Like just me knowing that, holy shit, he did work with this person. He did get that award. He did direct such and such for this movie and did this and did this and did that and did this. So just watch vintage interviews because it's more human. Because like once you see them with like the flashy lifestyle, you put them on that said pedestal. You know what I mean? Reading, having conversations genuinely, like not having conversations just to like talk.
Yeah.
But having a conversation for the sake of understanding. Because that's been helping me out with empathy. Because empathy has been like one of the things I've been learning this year: humility, empathy, compassion, all these intangibles, self-love. I'm understanding that these are the assets that I need to get the tangibles. This is how I get that mansion. This is how I get that car.
Yeah.
I got to believe in myself. This is how...
You got to have a good base before you get there, yeah.
Well, it's the best route, at least.
Yeah, yo, because, like, I was really chasing, like, the external. And that shit gets exhausting because it's never enough.
Mm-hmm. It's that materialism and all that.
Yeah, when you're chasing the external, you're just filling a void.
Yeah.
Because you weren't able to like get that, like you were saying before, that good base, like that self-love, that confidence that you will make it based on your ability, your talent, what you put forth.
Most definitely.
But if you go out like trying to say like, I'm gonna get the nicest car, the nicest biz, the nicest chains, like all that, right? You're just gonna want more, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get it and you're like,
but this person got...
Yeah, he's like, yo, that's a nice like Bugatti you got, man. Like, I don't like that Ferrari. You know, I'm about to trade up.
Yo, it's not fair. And the beauty of it is just like, as an entrepreneur, the shitty part is like you play into it and then you play your role. It's just the way capitalism works. We're all playing a role. Like no matter what we can have the most philosophical conversation, and Nike could announce another Air Max, and my mouth just gets watery. It's just like, shit, that looks cool. And it's just like so it's just like, I have to have the humility to understand that I'm not perfect. And that's how humility helped me become a better person. Because it's just like, there's humbling like moments when you're just saying thank you.
Yeah.
And like you're being kind to others. But then there's like a moment of humility when you got to be kind with yourself.
Right.
And like I was treating myself way worse than I was treating my friends. But I wasn't with my friends as much as I was with myself. So I was like, wait, I gotta work this shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one thing that I've been working on is definitely like becoming more selfish, like in that respect. Like, I would just put other people ahead of me, and like it got to the point where I was in just like a really bad situation, like with one of my exes, and like her mental health was like terrible, and I was trying to help her and put everything into her, and just like it sucked the life out of me, man.
It drains you.
It sucked the life out of me. And like just like seeing all that, and then like taking I just cut off communication with her and like just took a step back and like started just treating myself better and focusing on like what I wanted to do. It just like was huge for my mental health.
That's so important.
Identifying toxicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you did that. Because, like, I had to go through that, too. And it's, like, it sucks. And it's, like, you feel like a bad person in a moment. But I promise you.
It gets better.
Yeah, yo. Like, week 18, it was going to get better eventually. You know what I mean? It's just like, week 1 is hard. But it's just, like.
Week 1, you're just, like.
Time passes, yo. Time heals.
Time heals all wounds.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, like,
sometimes.
I mean, unless you have PTSD.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But we're
not talking about PTSD.
But I mean, there are ways to get rid of PTSD too, because I had PTSD from like that shit with my ex.
That's right. Yeah.
But then like
I bet that would like affect like relationships going forward too, right?
It did, but like thankfully with the girl I was with afterwards, like I was able to work out like a lot of my just like bad associations with that stuff. Yeah, she helped me out a lot with that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I remember like not that I'm sponsoring drugs or anything, but like the first time I tried MDMA, like I just like
that's a big
changed.
jump. I was just gonna say that's like,
but
like
like
I kind of expect you to say like weed or something, like just like
no,
MDMA.
I mean weed was actually pretty toxic in my life.
Yeah.
For a point, and that's why I only smoke occasionally now, and it's a lot healthier. But dude, like just feeling all of that love and like happiness, like when you're like suffering from PTSD, you kind of like forget that exists, you know, and that's why it's really helpful for a lot of like veterans and stuff.
Oh, they use
like,
they've been trying it in trials, right?
Yeah, I mean they were doing that right when like MDMA first came out. That was like its intended purpose to be used like in therapy. And then of course the partiers got a hold of it.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
I tried it once at a party.
It's fucking great though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very fun.
Just feeling all that love, and it's amazing. But I mean, it can be intoxicating in a bad way for some people.
Hell yeah.
If they're just like chasing that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah. I had like I said, I had an alcohol problem. So I had like there was this phase in my life, early 20s, when I was just chasing highs. Like I literally had a song called Peter Sparker. And in the song, I literally let you know, I said, my bucket list is to get high. Like, it's crazy. And it's like, in a moment, like, oh, this is a cool rhyme. But, like, words are powerful. And so I was definitely chasing a lot of rabbits. And 18, I almost died. I had 3 seizures from K2. Crazy as fuck. I'm wild as fuck. For trying that shit. I hate that shit. But, nah, I'm extremely glad that I had that moment because, like, I connected with the concept of mortality. Because, like I said, my teenage years, I thought I was going to live forever. So this is, like, 2 months before my graduation, 2 days before my little brother's, like, 15th birthday.
Yeah.
And I just decided to try K2 because my friends tell me, like, it's fake weed. Like, and I just think fake weed sounds cool. So it's just like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna try it. Like, I didn't think it was gonna do what it did, and that shit almost killed me. And I had 3 seizures, and like I lost my motor skills, and like I couldn't. It was just I was just a plant. It sucked. And those 2 days I spent crying and just like wishing I could talk, because I equated my loss of talking for my loss of being a rapper, and wishing I could move because I lost my not being able to move meant I couldn't perform. And it just really made me realize that, like, this can all end. And because of that, like, I stopped chasing that rabbit. Like, that's one of the things that, like, I always refer to whenever I get offered anything. I always refer to me battling alcoholism and me battling, like, that K2 moment. I'm just like, no, I'm good. Yeah. I'll just stick to weed. I'm good.
Every experience you learn from. Take every experience.
Yeah. It was traumatic.
I bet, man.
It was traumatic as shit, like, yo.
Well,
2 days.
2 days.
Dude, fake weed K2, it's not fake weed. It's a completely different thing.
Exactly.
Ketamine?
No, it's not ketamine.
It's like some incense,
it's some synthetic thing.
It's not spice, is it?
Like, spice. It's spice. You got it from a gas station.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't do that, kids. I'm seriously.
Yeah, stay away from that, please.
Yo, I'm not.
Oh man.
Like I know the pain. Like that shit is strong, and no one should ever do it. I don't know why people were like getting a hold of it, and it's pain thinner.
When I was 18, it was just presented as cheaper weed.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people who like are on probation and stuff smoke that too because it doesn't get tested.
Boom. It was, and then that was another thing.
The
it's like one of my
switch around too a lot.
Yeah, so that was another thing. One of my friends at the time, he was like going through some stuff. So he's like, "Look, I don't even have money for a J, but we could." It's crazy. I'm glad I'm past that version of Kassim. He existed though.
Man, there's like
learning experience. Man.
Oh yeah,
near death experiences. They really change people, man.
Man. Honestly speaking, like
that seizure thing really like hit me when you told, because like
just imagine, I was like normal an hour before.
And then it's just like,
just like an hour before. That's crazy. Like I was having a normal day. That was a normal whatever day that was, and it was just life changing.
You know those days too, where like everything's going normal, and then like something that horrible happens, and you just think back. It's like, it's like what happened in this day that was gonna lead it to this? Yeah. Like it becomes a day that's separate from your week. It doesn't become a part of your week. It's a day, like you said, you will remember for the rest of your life.
I said no to so many things because of that exact moment.
Dude, it's like entering an alternate dimension. Like, honestly.
It was existential. I was crying. It was a lot. I was praying. It was a lot.
It doesn't last that long, too.
Man, it didn't, but the after effects lasted 2 days. It's like just being in my room, yo, and life is happening. Like it was sunny earlier. Now it's nighttime, and like, what the fuck? Like my parents was at work, and now my mom was at home cooking, and I'm still here, just like this.
How was that experience? Like, because
how'd your parents react?
Oh man, she was so hurt because, like I said, I was about to graduate. She didn't. She's from Nigeria, so I was the first. Well, I am the first generation graduate, high school and college for my family. So like,
congratulations.
Thank you, yo.
Congrats, man.
So it was like a moment that she was like, I grew up with a single mom, so like, she felt like it was her fault because she was working all the time to like pay for us to just live. You know what I mean? And so she just felt like it was a traumatic experience. I'm glad it was just like. Back in the day.
You do some crazy things when you're 18.
Yeah, yo. Just to fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
If my friends didn't tell me to do it, I wouldn't have done it.
You probably wouldn't have heard of it.
I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Research your drugs before you do them.
Yeah.
Or,
or be sober. That's fine too.
Just that's a cool lifestyle too. You know?
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Whatever works. I don't want to be like preachy.
Just be safe.
Yeah, I don't want to
be safe, guys.
Yeah. I spark. I'm not trying to be preachy.
That's just like the mentality when you're in high school. You're just like, I want to get fucked up.
Oh, man.
I just want to get fucked up.
It was...
but going back to your mom, you talked about it in your song Toonami. Like being kicked out after she heard you wanted to be a rapper. Right. So I mean, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So when I finished school, so pretty much when I was in the 4th grade, just growing up with immigrant parents, what ends up happening is there's a level of manipulation that happens, and they don't see it as manipulation, they just see it as like life. But like I was presented with the storyline of, hey, I came to this country from poverty, you are going to be doomed. And like whatever she said like was just like
a doctor.
And she just threw it at me. She was like, "You're gonna be a doctor," and I was like 9, and I was just like,
that is like now that you're saying it, it does kind of sound like it's like you're gonna be a doctor.
That's why there's like so many like Asian and Indian doctors right now.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what happened.
I would have been a doctor if I didn't like. If I didn't like realize what I liked. Yeah.
Boom. And so from 4th grade, like I'm taking like intense shit, and like high school I'm taking like AP bio, and when I get to college I'm like talking to people who like work at Yale, and they're trying to get me involved with certain stuff, and like different schools are trying to get me involved just because like I'm gonna be honest, I was one of the only black kids in the class, so they wanted to keep me involved. And I was just like, yo, miserable. I was a fucking C student, and I just hated every moment. Like it was disgusting. Like honestly, my college essay to get into college, that was a fucking lie. Like whoever that Kassim was, he was just trying to prove something to his mom, because the whole time I wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? And so pretty much depression kicks in, and I'm failing now. So like I'm paying money that I don't have to go to a school to sit in a class I don't want to be at just to fail. Like that shit made me feel like a loser. And then even if I did try to study, a new song would come in my head, because I write my songs in my head. So like a new song would come to my head in the middle of class, and I'm just like, now what? Like I felt calculus because I was writing raps. And it's just like, yo, like, this is costing me thousands, you know? So I had a conversation with my mom. I was like, look, so I'm not graduating on time. And she was like, what the fuck?
Yep, that conversation.
Yo, she was like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be there for 4 years and then go to pre-med. And then she had like my whole life mapped out. And I was like, look. And I changed my major two semesters ago. She's like, what the fuck? Because if I would have stayed on track, I would have graduated on time. So I was like, look, I'm a business major now. She's like, what? What do you want to do with business? I was like, I want to run a business. She was like, you want to run a business? She couldn't fathom the idea of not working for someone. And I get it. You know, if you don't come from money, you work for money. If you come from money, you're taught to make money work for you. So it's just poverty working against us. But pretty much, she was coming from a scarcity mindset that she couldn't fathom the idea of her son not needing a boss. She's like, everybody needs a doctor. You would never like be broke. And I was like, or I could just make people pay me for shit that I make and I could never be broke. And she's like, what? That's stupid. What do you want to sell? I was like, songs. She was like, songs? Because like I said, I don't come from like a rich family with music who has like everything present. So she was like, what type of songs? And I told her rap. And it was a secret for years.
Oh, man.
Man. She kicked me out the next day. She kicked me out the next day. And it changed my life. Literally, I don't regret it. I hated her, honestly. I hated her for 2 years. This year we rebuilt that like relationship. Her birthday's in like 2 weeks, so shout out to my mom.
Nice.
But like,
that's good.
yeah, yo, it was intense because it was just like she was denying who I really was, and when I was who she wanted me to be, I was her favorite child, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it really fucked me up. But Toonami, I was literally sleeping on people's couches and sleeping on people's floors and going to school full time and paying for school myself and through loans and paying for my food and like having friends like swipe meals for me because I couldn't afford to eat and go to school and pay for books. So Toonami was just, and I couldn't afford to pay a lot of people like, here's a lump sum of the money for the time I spent on your couch. I just told him 2 years ago, I was like, yo, I'm gonna find a way to make like your name live forever. And so I started writing Toonami, and as I moved to this person's house, I just picked a trait and wrote their name down, and in this person's house. And after this year, I was just like, I got kicked out of my uncle's house the day before my 24th birthday. Sucked. Now, actually, I got told I was going to get kicked out that week, but I got kicked out the day after. And their reasoning was because I didn't get like a salary-based job. And it was like, yo, like, you got a business degree. Like, why are you struggling? Like, and they didn't, like, people, like I said, we didn't come from money. So my uncle and my aunt couldn't understand the idea of like, maybe if we give Kassim some time to find himself, this music shit could pay for everything. But for them, it was just like, in this very moment, you are broke because you're not getting a job. And I was going to interviews and I was depressed and I didn't want to be there.
You can't, I'm going to say this right now, you can't like finesse an interview if you're not in that mind space.
I couldn't. I sucked at every interview. Like, I cried after one interview because it took like my whole day. And I was like, I didn't want to be there since I stepped in. And you took my whole day and then I didn't get the job? Yeah, what the fuck?
So, you talking about like the long ass interview process.
It was a whole like salary based job process. Like I was gonna be like a business analyst. Oh, I hated that shit. So pretty much I dropped a song called Kenny Powers on my 24th birthday. It was my gift to myself. And then Kenny Powers, I knew it since it was my birthday. Everybody would be like saying happy birthday. So I was like, yo, thank you. Please listen to my song. Please listen to my song. And it's snowing. Yeah, and it's snowing outside. And I'm sleeping in my car because I just got kicked out. And like the girl I was with, she ended up leaving. It was just a lot that was happening.
Not a good day.
It was the worst. It was the worst. But Kenny Powers just becomes Kenny Powers. Yeah. And then I get an email. I was like, you want to perform at the Kennedy Center? I was like, what? And it's just like, you want to do this? You want to do that? You want to do this? You want to do that? And then I dropped a video. And like I said, I was working 2 jobs and I was miserable. So I was like, how can I take a leap? And I was working at this job and it was like a bunch of millionaires. I was pretty much a front desk agent at their condo. Mm-hmm. And I was just asking them about life and asking them about, because they had everything that I wanted, like externally. but then they were great people. You know what I mean? I was like, how did you do it? Like, what's the secret? And pretty much everything I've been saying in this interview, I learned a lot from them. And one of the things they told me was just like, create something that is an idea that people love, and like make sure you become an idea. And as soon as you become an idea, make that idea tangible. And once you make the idea tangible and people can get a hold of it and they can experience it, you will always have a product that can sell. It might not sell 1 million tomorrow, but you could sell something. So then Kenny Powers was my product, and I was showing them the song. And then one of them was just like, what if you make merch? And boom, I made merch. Mm-hmm. And once I made merch, I timed it and I dropped the video and I paid for Instagram ads, and everybody was talking about the video. Christina Milian was talking about it. A bunch of random people were just posting about it. And then 2 days later, I dropped merch and I quit that job and I tell them peace. And here I am. Nice, so Toonami is like that whole story. So at the end of Toonami, I'm like, yo, like I was broke. I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that. And then Kenny Powers dropped and I changed my life. That's what I meant. Like literally because of Kenny Powers, the song, I got confidence. And then I got like the Kennedy Center show and this and that. And then because of Kenny Powers, the video, my rap career started. Because I was able to like leave a job I didn't need to be at.
Right.
And just
so you're rapping full time now?
Not yet, man. One part time away.
Oh, right.
One part time away.
You said you were doing 2 jobs.
Yeah, I was doing 2, but
you're
one part time
halfway
away.
there.
Halfway there, and that's how I gotta look at it, because it's like it's progression. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's like realistically speaking, I would love to be the hottest rapper in the world today,
right?
And tomorrow. Hey. But like right now, I have to take my time.
Here's another gem. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Boom. Clichés. The cliches, man, they're so profound. One
that's
step
like,
at a time.
That's like a dad one.
one step at a time is like one of those phrases that's been getting me through it. One day at a time, shit like
that. Like personally speaking, like I learned like you gotta have patience with whatever you do, whatever you try and attempt, whatever your goal is.
Yes.
You gotta learn like a day is a day. You can only get so much accomplished in a day.
Yes.
So use as many days as you can to get to your goal, because you have a lot of days in a year. It just depends on how you use those days.
Remember earlier when I was talking about
time.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, we just have so much time that we just like kind of just let.
Especially if you wake up early. The power of waking up 5 to 6 a.m.
Yo,
mm-hmm.
Remember earlier when we were talking, and I was just like, the concept of like a 5-year plan. It's like teaching people to be kind of passive. What you just said is what they taught me. Like the millionaires, they were teaching it. It's like, look, like time management is important. Like you need time. That's the asset. That's the secret. That's where everything happens. And it's just like you need time. So just making sure that every hour you're doing something that matters. And if you're not doing something, you're just relaxing. You're taking time to do this. You're taking time with family. You're taking time for conversations. Like work life is a balance. It's not like you know what I mean? It's not like a machine. Like you gotta have time slots for everything.
Gotta take time for yourself too.
Yeah, yo.
You gotta treat yourself.
Treat yourself, yo. Do it.
Treat yourself.
Do it. Life is short, yo. Life is short. Do it.
Yeah, I wish we had the little Shia LaBeouf, like just
do it.
We'll add that to the thing.
He's so cool, yeah.
So let's talk about the other part of Toonami, the anime.
Ooh.
Like you're huge into anime, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
shout out Hunter x Hunter.
Yes. And Full Metal Alchemist. I
just
finished that.
That's a good
Elwood
one.
Brothers.
That's a
so
good one, yeah.
good, man.
Yo. So all right. So anime has been helping me realistically since I was like 5. It got hit because of Toonami, and it was Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, like all of that stuff.
The gems.
The gems, yo. The gems.
Yu Yu Hakusho. I remember like
Gundam
waking
Wing.
up and like they would play it like at the end of the night or something at Toonami, and I would watch it before like heading off to like high school and shit.
Yo,
good
Toonami. But nah, remember back in the day, Toonami was on weekdays.
Yeah.
I used to get home after school and just like, I'll be in class like, yo, the next Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about like
He's about to beat on Cell. He's about to beat on Cell.
That hurt my side.
But so, and then I learned so much about myself. Like one of my favorite anime characters, it's going to sound really wild, but I really connect with both Naruto and Sasuke, and for different reasons. But Naruto, for me, when I told myself at 14 I wanted to be a rapper,
you gotta believe it.
Yo, him saying he wanted to be Hokage in the first season was
gonna be the next Hokage.
I was like, I don't know, bro. Yeah. Like you can't even do, you can't really do the sexy jutsu right.
But then you saw the progression. You're like,
yo,
he still only has like one move though.
Yo,
but that one move though,
it's lit though.
It's incredible. But yo,
improvises.
He literally like he was the most hated. Like he was just like a scum to everybody, and just to watch him like develop into the 7th Hokage changed my life, and it taught me to believe in myself. Sasuke, he taught me that life is hard and life isn't fair, but I can still be great. Because it makes no sense for the last Uchiha to be the top of his class. Because it's just like there's so much trauma behind that.
Yeah.
But it's like this
brother, man.
His brother, his own brother. Like the level of trauma that Sasuke had to endure at such a young age of like 8 or some shit like that. That shit is crazy. But to see how great he became, it's just like
PTSD.
Yeah, and it's just like, yo, like I just relate. So that's what happens with anime. I just relate with characters, and that's why like I throw them in my songs. Like in I'm a Sean, I said I'm Deku if he could rap, because I really fuck with Midoriya, yo.
Hey,
like,
honestly, a lot of rappers listen to anime. Like it's watch anime.
Yeah, it's important. Pokemon, all of that shit. It's important, yo.
Yeah, I saw your Pokemon watch.
Yeah, so
oh nice.
Yeah, so my little cousin gave me this. So
yo, that's a throwback.
It's a throwback, and it reminds me of like the Burger King watches. Like,
yeah.
So that's why I wear it.
Those little burger meals.
Like the little Rugrat shirts. Yeah. So it's a very cheap watch, but it gives me like that vintage aesthetic, so I like it. And plus my little cousin, he's like, one of them is 6 and the other one is like 10. And
you know, he'll light up when he sees you wearing
it. Man, he like, it's crazy because like them two, they really helped me out because I was really depressed when I was living with them. They're the children of the uncle and the aunt that made me move. And they thought I was so cool. And like, I didn't think I was cool. But they was just like, oh my gosh, like I love this song and I love that song. And like I said, one is 10 and one is like 7.
Yeah.
So even back then, they were even younger and they're like singing my melodies and dancing and like asking me like, yo, can you play your songs? Can you play your songs? I'm just like, holy shit, y'all really care. All right, bet. So I love wearing it because of them.
This has been a very wholesome episode.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I can tell you're gonna be a family man. Like in the future.
I'm working on myself as a person. Yo, it's a journey. I wasn't like, I used to be really aggressive. I used to be really like angry at like everything. You know what I mean? I was very selfish. So I'm working on myself. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all.
I feel like you're gonna be dropping lots of knowledge bombs, lots of gems. You know, lots of good pieces of advice that your kids will not listen to at all, ignore, and go through the same type of, oh, you know what, I need to do this because this will better me, and I wish I listened to my dad, which is you in the future.
By God's grace, yo, because I really do want to experience that, because I didn't grow up with like a healthy relationship with my dad, so I would love to be a great dad. That's definitely like, I was in the 4th grade and I remember saying that I want that to be like one of my hopes and dreams, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I definitely want that life. But before any of that comes, I just want to make sure that like, I love myself. You know what I mean? Because like, that's the most important relationship. Yeah. And that's what 2018 taught me. So entering 2019, I just want to make sure like I can manifest it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate y'all. This has been good energy too.
We appreciate you. This is a great interview. Yeah.
It's all love, yo.
Yeah, so I guess it's over an hour, right?
Yeah.
So,
hey.
So we're gonna end it real soon, but you know, plug all your stuff, give shout outs to anyone.
Yeah.
All the people, you know, in Toonami, slept on their couch. Yeah.
Nah, I gotta respect their privacy.
Nah, I got you.
But they're on Toonami. But yeah. So name's Kassim. Instagram is Kassim20Never. Kassim 20NVR. That's the same for my Twitter. I drop music a lot. Like a lot. So like just follow me because it's not stopping. The way I plan on doing it is to just do it as much as I can and just express myself. So just please join the journey, because they're only going to keep getting better, because what's going to end up happening is eventually the world's going to recognize, and once the world recognizes, it's already became a thing. And once that happens, it's just momentum. So please follow. You could get my merch at KassimMusic.com. That is KASSIMMUSIC.com. 20 Never, that's the whole collective. So shout out to the whole squad. You already know who you are. Baptized, Facing, Hassani, Keys. Just shout out to everybody from the DMV, for real, that interacts with me in a very positive way, because you all helped me grow and helped me go, because it definitely took a village to raise me. I'm not like a one-man show, so I appreciate every single person who played their role. Thank you to me for not giving up. Thank you for
humble brag.
Thank you to y'all for having me on this platform, and just stay blessed, y'all. More music coming soon.
I bet.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Teddy, you want to take us out?
Yes, from all the Trip Trap Talk Show family, have a happy holiday.
Hey.
And please smash that like button.
And have a wonderful New Year,
And
guys.
subscribe.
Yes.
And subscribe.
And subscribe.
See you guys.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Trip Trap Talk Show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. And you can also check out all our content and our interviews on YouTube, and check out some of our freestyles as well. Follow us on Instagram at Trip Trap Talk Show, where you can find our advertisements and promotions. And you can also check out me and Teddy's beats at k.b.beats, at Hennessy Beats, for all your production needs. Slide into our DMs if you ever want to be on our show. And subscribe. Subscribe.
Yeah. It's the end of the year. These are a couple things I just want. Yeah. Pray one day I get a purified heart. Living my truth while the other false start. I know the truth is a fucking lost art. That's why my shit's always on guard. I speak about you and give it all to God. I live my life and give it all to God. I know life is a deck of wild cards. You know life is a deck of wild cards. Switch up the color scheme, kinda like a move ring. Girl trying to do things, talking about the mood things, talking about the mood things. You mean the new things, like about you new things. You can send me new dreams, tell you the truth, just lie with a nigga. Be a passenger, just ride with a nigga. Yeah. Cut on some Steve Lacy songs, just ride with a nigga. Pray one day I get a purified heart. Living my truth while the other false start. I know the truth is a fucking lost art. That's why my shit's always on guard. I speak my truth and give it all to God. I live my life and give it all to God. I know life is a deck of wild cards. You know life is a deck of wild cards. Hit the Grammy stage, get all the awards. MTV stage, get all the applause. Billboards too. Pay my mama bills whenever bills are due. I got so many platinum plats and plats inside my living room. I see myself on TV smiling, laughing through my interviews. Like hello world, I introduce just me with my authentic views. Was born to win, I cannot lose. Was born to win, I cannot lose. Shit was written in stone. Wrote this while I was stoned. A-list like Emma Stone, cause every letter's scarlet, I promise. I go the hardest, your favorite artist. Lethargic, so sick of being patient. That shit just feels like I'm stalling. Some tell me that it's a virtue, I tell them I'm way too versatile. Got too many verses about 1,000 flows, 1,000 flows. I live life with a plethora, live life with abundance. And my friends call me Benji, cause I keep that shit 100. Peace.